Hi, guys. Welcome back. Today I have M. Curtis McCoy with us. Curtis, welcome.
It is so good to be on your show, Shanna.
Thank you so much for coming on. So, Curtis is a personal branding expert, which we all need some of that. And he's an expert for authors, entrepreneurs, motivational speakers, podcast hosts, leaders, and reaches massive audiences through Amazon Fire TV. And he's also on Newswire magazine. Is that your magazine, or is that like a magazine that you have a partnership with? Or
So, Newswire launched in 1997. I was running a telecommunications company at the time. I had three retail stores that I owned and then licensees all over the country. Um, had one of my employees that suggested I buy Newswire in 2018. And we had a tax bill coming due and had to spend some money or give it to the man. So, we bought Newswire and then added Newswire magazine to the distribution platform in 2022, I believe. Maybe 21, 22.
nice. All right. So, what kind of do you have all the people that you help with your business on Newswire magazine? Like, tell us a little bit about the content of that.
So my business is basically kind of like you said. I help authors, entrepreneurs, motivational speakers, top real estate agents. It wouldn't be your average, your average Joe that's trying to figure out how to sell a house, but anybody who's already crushing it in life and business and needs access to a larger audience. We put people on the 96-foot billboard in Times Square, New York. One of those kind of things where it's working with the big dogs and helping them reach a massive audience.
Nice. All right. So, what are your strengths in the real estate industry? Are you a realtor yourself, or were you ever a realtor?
So I have never had anything to do with the real estate except for Keller Williams has hired me to speak at, their some ceremonies and stuff about personal branding. But I've only ever bought one house. Even the retail stores that we own and stuff were all licensees. We were leasing the place. So I'm probably your least experienced real estate person on the show ever, but I can help you build your personal brand so you can close more deals.
Well, we do have a lot of investors. We have a lot of investors who are also realtors in the sub-2 community. But all of us, that's one of our points of focus right now throughout the community, is building a brand. And, our leader, Pace Morby, is always telling us that we need to build a brand, not just for ourselves, but also so that we can get the word out there and help people who need help, with pre-foreclosures or, whatever. So we're not just real estate investors, we're problem solvers, and getting the brand out there, having a personal brand is a huge part of that.
Yep. Well, that's something people cannot do business with you if they can't find you. So your personal brand, we can probably talk about this later about the businesses that I've owned, but or you want to go into that right now? Or?
Oh, I was going to say, I just put that on the thumbnail that I made for this episode.
Okay. So over the years, kind of how I got into it is I owned a cosmetic medical laser clinic, a pharmaceutical company manufacturing bioidentical injectable research peptides, had quite a few different businesses, a telecommunications company, Christian clothing company. But every time that I would, maybe I'm changing industries, maybe you sell a business, but you build up this business, work for years, getting it to a 7-figure successful company. And then as soon as something changes, when we shut down the cell phone company during the Sprint T-Mobile merger, we had worked over 10 years, 80 to 100 hours a week building this company out. And then it's, if I wouldn't have had the personal branding thing already been working on that, I'd have been starting from scratch again at ground zero, trying to build something that people know, like, and trust. But it's basically, personal branding is kind of like search engine optimization, where if you build a website and there's no traffic, no links going to it, nobody's ever going to find it. Your personal brand, you could build the coolest shopping mall. Say you build the coolest, biggest shopping mall ever, in history, in the middle of the desert. It's got every retail store, every attraction. You got a theme park, whatever inside of it, and no roads going into there and no advertisement for people to fly in and land. You're never going to have a customer. Kind of like that with being a realtor. You could be the best realtor, know everything about the subject. No, I mean, just be phenomenal. Got a great personality. And if nobody knows you, they can't find you. You're going to sell 0 houses.
Boom. That's it in a nutshell. Wow. And you know what? I love that you started not once, but twice. You had to start over again.
Whole lot more than
Because
that.
that's how those are the best people to learn from, because they've built it up from scratch.
Well, that's something you see a lot of times. I get people reaching out. If you're doing much on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, YouTube, you'll have people reaching out on a weekly basis that are saying, "Hey, I can." Uh, Back before you could just pay for the verification check mark, say, "Hey, I can get you verified," or "Hey, I can give you 1 million followers. I can get you whatever it is, all these connections and stuff." You look at the guy's profile, he's telling you he's a social media marketing expert or a personal branding expert. The guy's got 3 followers. He's following 100 people. He's posted twice. You're either a liar or you don't believe in the product that you're selling me. But one of the two, if you can't find the person that's telling you that they're good at social media marketing or, personal branding, whatever, they either don't believe in their service or they're lying to you.
Or they're just getting started, or they're one of those scammers out there.
But if you're just
They
getting
make a fake
started,
profile to try to get
yeah.
people stuff.
But I mean, if you're just getting started, you have no business selling your service, charging anybody else to do it. Go
And
in and
saying
work.
you're an expert.
Yeah, go into a local real estate office, work for somebody, tell them, "Hey, I'll work for you for 6 months. I'm trying to learn this." Don't charge them anything. Go out basically as an intern. But I don't think
That's
it's
what
I don't think
Cody
it's ethical.
Sanchez says.
Yeah,
She's like, when you want to do something, you find the person that's an expert in that field and you follow them and you say, "Hey, I just want to follow you around, learn everything that you know." And I mean, that's one of the things she's always talking about too.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have
So
to get connected with her.
do what?
I said I'll have to get connected with her.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I just saw her and Grant Cardone. We had what was called a squat up summit um for that Pace and Sub 2 was putting on, and he partnered with Jamil Damji, who has the Astro flipping community, and those two were like best friends, and they partnered up and they had some guest speakers. They had Don Miller there. They had Grant Cardone, they had Cody Sanchez, they had Jerry Norton. It was it was like a 3-day thing. We had it at the Hilton down in Orlando. It was phenomenal. Oh my gosh,
That's
it was
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, I have a little video of it on my channel.
Man,
But
that dude Grant has got I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures recently he's posted. He has got a crazy 6-pack for being in his 60s.
yes, I
Just
saw that. It was like
incredible
his
shape.
wife and some other girl in the pic or something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. So, what exactly what are the different building blocks that makes up building a brand? Like, what are the categories, I guess I should say?
So I guess there's 2 main categories. There's earned media and paid media, and building a solid brand should be a combination of both. So, for example, earned media would be me being a guest on your show right here. I'm accessing your audience. You're already building a massive audience there. So earned is I have to have accomplished something to be able to have you feature me. Where Shannon wants me to wants to be on, or wants to have me as a guest on Subto Shannon. This is the way. So that's earned. Whether it's you doing something cool, maybe you're putting on an open house and you've set up a projector out front, doing a nighttime movie thing or whatever, doing movies. You got whatever, something cool where the local newspaper, local radio station is going, "Hey, check this out. Shanna's doing whatever the cool project is." That's earned media. Or maybe you've done a massive, whatever it is, you're helping people. You've taken a percentage of your earnings and donated that to charity. Whatever it is, earning the media or earning media coverage. That is, I do a lot of that myself. My business is paid media though, where you're getting featured. Like I said, on doing articles in Newswire magazine. I can even put you on the cover of Newswire magazine. Doing interviews on Amazon Fire TV, professional produced, where you're getting on doing basically like a podcast type call, but it's all syndicated, professionally edited, and sent to Amazon Fire TV in 4K. So now you've got
And
you got
that's like a video too. It's not like just audio, right? Because
yeah, no,
like
Amazon Fire
Fire
TV is, I
yeah.
mean, Amazon TV and YouTube, and like we've got the verified YouTube channel with the check mark. One of those kind of things just keep me on.
So would that be on Amazon TV, would that be like for people that don't have the subscriptions with no commercials? Do you know what I
Uh,
mean? Did I
so
say that backwards?
I mean, it's Amazon Fire TV is their own. It's their own TV service. Working right now, getting set up with IMDb as well as to syndicate to other TV networks as well.
I guess what I mean is where would you see that ad?
I'm on Amazon Fire TV. So if you've
Right,
got
but I mean, like, would it be in the middle of a show or, you
no,
know,
you'd be the guest on a TV show. It's basically a one-to-one talk show. So I would be interviewing you about your expertise. It's not just we're not just running commercials on a. I
because
think paid TV
sometimes when you
commercials
turn
are.
on, like, I'm turning to my Amazon TV right now. Sometimes when you turn on the TV, you know how it'll play some ads and stuff like that. It'll give you previews of movies that are on and stuff like that. I guess that's kind of what I
Yeah,
meant.
no. So this would be we're not paying to put little block ads on Amazon. It would be an actual interview on Amazon Fire TV. So it would be about you. The entire episode is interviewing you and your expertise, how you could help people with real estate or whatever your expertise in the market is. Um, so we're interviewing, like I said, authors, entrepreneurs, podcast hosts, motivational speakers, leaders who are already crushing it in life and business. We're interviewing them on Amazon TV. Then that article is sent over. We have our editor go through, write an article about what you're an expert in. So they're watching the Amazon TV show as well as researching everything that's ever been published about you or by you online, writing an article highlighting you as an expert. You get that article draft, and then you go through. You can upload your own pictures, those kind of things. Add, edit, remove. Say you've got a new feature. You've just launched a new real estate syndication, and we didn't cover that. So you can go ahead and add the stuff there before it's submitted for the final approval, and then we syndicate it to an ungodly amount of readers.
Nice. Love it. Okay. So, tell us a little bit about your services. Like if somebody's interested, like how would they go about like procuring your team for services? And like what do you do for them?
So right now, like I said, everything is focused on the personal branding. People confuse that a lot of times with trying to hire. They'll reach out to a personal branding expert trying to hire you to manage their social media platforms or want you to write blog posts or something for them. That's kind of a different category of folks, social media marketers versus personal branding expert that's helping you either gain paid media or like mine. I own the Newswire magazine and host the show on Amazon TV. So now you're doing the working with me to get featured on those major platforms.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
if you
Gotcha.
look like over to my left here, we've got a massive, which is actually just custom built by Lenovo, this ridiculous computer on the left-hand side here, running 4 monitors. So we'll put one client in at a time and start building, have this crazy computer doing search engine optimization. So building links to articles, driving traffic to boost your domain authority on your website. So if you've got say you're working with Remax or something, you've got, you just got a page on their site. That's not something you would need my service. I'd work with somebody where, say you've got subtoshiana.com and now you're trying to drive traffic to that, make sure that is the number 1 ranked site anywhere in your region where when somebody's looking to buy or sell a house or do real estate transactions, make that to where you're the top ranked site.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. All right. So, are there any suggestions that you have for viewers, like maybe some quick little tips or tricks to them building their personal brand?
Yeah, I get people all the time that actually had a guy yesterday afternoon that was another podcast host trying to figure out how to build his brand, but he got on and he turned his camera off. And he said, well, I'm shy to be on camera. And he's asking me the whole podcast. He's asking me about how to get out there, how to get more traffic, how to get more subscribers for his podcast, how to build his brand. I said, are you open to some honest feedback here? Turn your camera on. Well, I'm
Right.
shy. I'm not really comfortable getting on. And so I'm looking at your Instagram. You've got 0 posts. You're following a bunch of people. You got a good description. You've got 0 posts you've ever made on Instagram. He said, well, I've made a couple, but then I deleted them because I was shy. Okay,
Oh,
everybody is shy. We're all, I mean,
yeah.
everyone. I've spoke at Caesar's Palace, and it's pretty big events. But just like anybody else, you get off stage and people are going, "Oh my gosh, I could never do that." I
You
would be
stand
so
on the
scared.
curb, all he's
Like,
gotta do is cross
yeah,
the street.
yeah,
Just do it.
same thing. I'm like, I
Jump in
am
the pool.
terrified as well. But if you can't afford to hire somebody who's an expert in personal branding, who's already got fruit on the tree there, start doing it yourself. And even like one of my best clients right now is we do a ton of work for him, but he's also every day he's doing grabs one of his phones and he's like, hey, get on giving some kind of tip. Um, but get on. I mean, if
Yeah.
you don't have to have a professional video studio, nice cameras, all this stuff.
These
You could be on a
phones.
junk Android phone looking at it, just say, hey, here's some tips on real estate. Doesn't matter if you're just starting. Say, here's something I learned today. I'm a new realtor. I just learned this is a good way to help you when you're buying a house. Look at this tip. If you're the person that gets on there every single day providing value, then a month from now, if you've given out 20 or 30 tips, okay. Hey, by the way, if you guys know somebody buying or selling a house, would you mind sending them my phone number? Here's my cell phone number. Have them text me. Now,
And you can
if they're watching
reuse
you every day,
things
yeah,
that you've already done too. Like if you put something out, 3 months ago, you can repost it again.
you can repost it
Something that
with an edit. The social media platforms can see that that's duplicate content, but you could add a little bit of
um,
music to it. You could add some subtitles, add the captions,
mhm.
or you go, hey, this was a post that really performed well. What about just doing the same thing as you've practiced? If you've put out 50 videos by then, go, hey, I'm going to say that same thing again, not word for word, but I'm getting more comfortable on camera. I'm getting better with I've figured out my lighting a little bit. Have a lamp in front of me instead of behind me, so my face is lit up correctly. Now you get on, you do the same thing. Hey, this is Shannon. I'm just going to give you this great tip that I've got for real estate investing. Now it's even probably going to perform better because you've done a better quality video.
Yeah. I think people overthink it too much. I feel like they just overthink it. It's just like, just like right now, it kind of feels like I'm just in a one-on-one Zoom meeting with you. I don't see the audience. There's no reason to be
Yep.
scared. We're having a conversation here. It's just Shauna and Curtis. That's it. And that's how you got to kind of look at it until you get so comfortable that, it doesn't really matter. Really. That's what
I
I tell my
wish
guests.
I kind of wish you would have reminded me that you got 5,000 people listening because that's now I'm nervous again too.
I wish I had 5,000 people, not 5,000, but it's only a matter of time.
Well, and talk about repurposing content. You recording this today. If you keep putting out good stuff, keep having good guests on, you'll have well over 5,000. I should have probably said 5,000. I should have said hundreds of thousands because in the future, if people are rewatching this episode, it's like that's something that's a quick
That's
tip
the beauty
where,
of YouTube. It doesn't get buried. It's got
yeah,
that search engine
yep,
and people can pull it up 5 years later.
yep.
So,
And also, like if you're in anywhere in Colorado, if you Google best motivational speaker in Colorado, you've heard me talk. I survived brain cancer. I literally lost the ability to communicate for a while. Um, so I am nowhere close to the best motivational speaker in Colorado, but I, it's only me in here, and that's the reason I'm the best motivational speaker in this room. But um, I mean, I'm ranked number one on YouTube on that when you Google it, and that's why I'm getting hired to speak at events like the Keller Williams event that I spoke at here. Uh, making more to speak for 30 minutes than I used to make in a month because of that ranking and having that personal brand where they're searching for a speaker. They reach out and they go, okay, there's 17 applicants. This guy is automatically ranked as the best speaker in Colorado. Cool. This is the one they're going to pay.
and see, going through something traumatic like that is what makes it so much more rewarding once you do break through that. I mean, from brain cancer survivor to motivational speaker. Wow. What an accomplishment. I mean,
What-
and then, if you're ever doing anything else in your life that you feel you need to pull your inner strength out, you can just look back and be like, look what I did, man. If I can do that, I can do anything,
I mean,
right?
and the only reason I mentioned that was because I was telling you I'm not a great speaker. I'm definitely not the best in Colorado. I'm tripping over my words here as we're talking,
Uh-huh.
but
But it was your
everybody go.
branding that really put you up on the map is what you're getting at, right?
Yeah, I mean, and everybody goes through junk. We've all got a reason to
Mhm.
have excuses, whether it was growing up in an abusive household, maybe you went through alcoholism or drug addiction, or you had a spouse cheat on you, or we all go through stuff that sucks. Winners use that, losers use that as an excuse to stay a loser and not ever accomplish anything. Winners use those struggles as a reason to do something bigger, to become something better. But
Right.
stop identifying with the struggle.
I
Everybody's got 'em.
love that. I love that. Whatever you focus on becomes stronger. Focus on your goals,
I like
right?
that.
Yeah. This is actually my second podcast. I'm getting ready to start a third one. So I went to start I had an idea for a podcast before I found Sub 2, and then I found Sub 2 before I launched it, so I kind of got put it on the shelf for a little bit. But it was called the Gen X Files with Shauna and friends, and I had a hard time getting people to come on camera. Um, plus I didn't know anything about brand building back then. Nobody wanted to come on camera. And then when I got in the sub 2 community and Pace wanted to show us how to build a brand, or he wanted us to start building brands and, do podcasts and stuff, that's when I started this one. And it kind of took off because we do so many Zooms and people are used to being on camera and people have businesses that they need to advertise and stuff, that this one kind of just took off. But
That's awesome.
yeah.
I was calling it
So
subtoe. I realized I was completely mispronouncing that.
yeah, sub 2. Well, it stands for so many things. It's subject to the existing financing is one of the creative finance methods that we do. We live a life subject to our own rules, not someone else's. Um, there's like so many things that it encompasses, but it's great. So, I didn't really I'm going to have I don't really have a banner for your social media handles, but I'm going to be putting those in the show notes and in the description box, and you guys will be able to go in there and just click right on them and get a hold of Curtis. Um, so I have two questions I want to ask that I'd like to ask all my guests. First one is, what does success look like to you?
So I talked about owning the pharmaceutical company, the cosmetic medical laser company, the telecommunications company, owning multiple retail stores. At the time, I thought, I mean, years and years ago, I thought if I get to $1 million a year, I'd be good. Then it was going, okay, if it's $1 million a month, maybe I'll feel like I'm good enough. Maybe I'll feel like I've accomplished enough to, you will never hit that level. I mean, unless you're cut out to
Because
be
once you
average.
hit it, then you're like, okay, now what?
Yeah, so I would say now success. I work far less now than I did. I work less in a month than I used to. I mean, I work less in a month than I used to work in a week. Um, but I'd say now doing something where you're helping others, and make it a business. If it's real estate, if you've got enough traffic, enough leads coming in where you can go, you know what, I don't like this person. I don't like this guy. I don't want to work with him. I'm going to sell somebody else's house. If you've got enough leads coming in that you've built enough business, so you've got the ability to cut out people that don't align with your ethics, your integrity, your morals, or you just don't like them. That's something where with Newswire magazine and Amazon Fire TV, I'll get through an interview, and if somebody's not honest, ethical, they're just completely against what fits my audience. You say, hey, listen, not that I don't want the extra couple $1,000s here, but hope you do good in life. We're not going to work together. So, I mean, that's one in 200
So
interviews
true.
probably, but get big enough to where get enough traffic coming in where you've got the ability to turn down things that don't fit your goals or your ethics or your integrity.
Gotcha. And you know what they say, you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around the most. So you want to surround yourself with high level people so that you can level up. That's one of the reasons I changed locations. I needed to, move to a new area in order to evolve and level up. When you stay in the same place for too long, they don't, I mean, they don't have bad intentions, but people tend to say, no, you can't do that. No, you don't want to go there. No, they just, kind of hold you back in order to grow and evolve you. That Jerry Norton says he moves every 5 years because of that. So he can just continue to level up.
And that would be a
ran out of
big
places in the United States because now he's in Puerto Rico.
wow. That'd be a big challenge with the for me. I absolutely love people. I love connecting and stuff, but it is so cool to me when I go, be at the car wash and it was the car wash a couple of weeks ago and a kid come up, one of the employees, and I guess he was following me on Instagram or somewhere. He said, guys, hey, this is him, Chris McCoy. Sir, would you mind if I got a picture with you? And he held his phone up there to do a selfie, stuck his head in my window. I'm like, that is so cool. But that'd be hard if you were, moving into new locations all the time. That'd probably be good reason for me to grow the brand a whole lot better and kind of light a fire under my butt to get more connected. But man, I love being connected with the local folks here and just being able to
what area are you
just know
in,
everybody.
if you want to tell us?
So I'm near Grand Junction, Colorado. Got a place over in Clifton, and I'm in Ferda right now.
In what state?
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of my favorite sub 2 people lives out there, Angie Milanazzo.
I don't know her, but is she towards Denver or what area?
You got me there. I just, because it was so funny because we were in a family night Zoom the other day, and then I for some reason I thought she was in Texas, and she's like, no, Colorado, and I'm like, how did I get that wrong?
I got one of the ladies that I work with doing our conferences is out of Texas, and just one of my favorite people. So
yeah,
Texas is cool too.
It is cool. So the other question that I wanted to ask is, if you had some profound advice that would help anybody in their life, whether it's in business, personally, or both, what would that be?
So I'll start with personal branding stuff. If you're afraid to get on whatever, just do it. The best time to start building your personal brand is yesterday. Unless you got access to a time machine, you're gonna have to start today. But don't skip that. Just start documenting your journey. Too many people go along trying to figure out, well, what do I post? What do I share? If you're going, hey, listen, hey, this is my first day as a realtor. I'm just kind of figuring out stuff here. What do you guys suggest?
Yeah.
Start documenting your journey. That's a good way to create content. And then
just hit record. You can always edit it or not use it if you don't like it.
Or go live. If you're really trying to stretch yourself and you don't care about editing it, get on, go live. It cuts out a lot of the time.
And then you don't have to edit.
But I love to edit everything because, as I said, I survived brain cancer and trip over words a lot. So editing is a good tool for me.
I'm not getting that impression from you. And I love your setup there, by the way.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, nice. I know I told you this before the show started, but love that microphone and the cover, that little furry cover.
The dead cat filter.
You're so lucky you're far away.
That's awesome. That'd be super weird if you're trying to pet the microphone.
Sitting here going like this in your studio.
That's awesome. Yeah, so that's the first thing. Start working on your brand now. You're never going to regret that you built a personal brand and the recognition, because it opens up so many opportunities for you to be able to get connected with other people. Just like you, Shannon, with this podcast, it gives you access to people that you would have never been able to run into on the street, or, entrepreneurs that you could not have been able to connect with. But since you've got a platform that you're building, they're going to reach out and ask you, just like I did to you. Not saying I'm a big dog, but I'm saying big dogs will actually reach out and ask to be a guest on your show. So it's a great way to connect. And then the other thing, I don't know how many of your listeners believe in God or Christian, whatever, but for me, I think if you're feeling bad about yourself, feeling like you got the lack of self-confidence, whatever, I'll tell people you were created in the image of the God that created the entire universe. You're created in his image. So by default, you've got to be pretty amazing.
Yes. So I call them one of the OG Sub 2 community members. Sub 2 is only like 4 years old. So when I say OG, I mean they've been in it for like 3 or 4 years,
Okay.
right? But he said to us the other day when we were in his Zoom, he said, when he was getting ready to go into college, his dad was giving him this kind of talk, this serious grown up talk. You're getting ready to grow into manhood here.
Yeah.
And he told him, he said, Jesse, you're not better than anybody else. And then he paused. He's like, well, thanks a lot, Dad. And then he said, but nobody else is better than you either. So, I mean, and as far as motivation goes and the mindset, if you feel like you're not worthy, that's so not true. Everybody is worthy. And like you said, we're all created by the creator himself. And my mom used to have this t-shirt. I know I'm somebody because God don't make no junk.
Yeah.
So I agree 100%.
Do you mind if I contradict that saying that you just had about you're not better than anybody else and they're not better than you?
Sure.
So I got a bit of a different outlook on that.
Okay.
And I hope this doesn't, I mean, if you're going through depression, struggling with depression or whatever right now, please don't take this as something that I'm not saying. But God gives us, I believe we have, even if you didn't believe in God, you've got those feelings of, man, I'm not doing enough. I should be accomplishing more. I have screwed up a lot. I mean, I believe Jesus died on the cross to save us from our sins, but also you have feelings of inadequacy. Yes, because of childhood trauma and that kind of stuff, but also go out and start accomplishing stuff. The more you accomplish, the less you feel like you're not good enough. You start helping a ton of people, and the more people you help, the more people that are reaching out saying, hey, listen, I was listening to your show. I was contemplating suicide. I decided not to because maybe there's some type of hope. You start getting messages like that, and you will have, you cannot skip feeling better about yourself when you're helping more people. So, I mean,
you want me to give you my personal theory on that? So we've heard Jesse's, we've heard yours, and now we can hear mine.
Sounds good.
Or Jesse's was just a story. But so my theory on that, I just said that to somebody earlier today. I was like, life is like, that show, The American Ninja, where they have to go through this really rough, like, obstacle course. And when they make it to the other side, they ring the bell.
Yeah,
right?
no guy that won it.
That's what life is like. It's like an obstacle course. But if you didn't go through that obstacle course, and if it wasn't really rough to get there, you wouldn't have that phenomenal feeling of accomplishment once you make it to the other side and ring that bell. Because if it was just, okay, here's the bell, ring it, you'd be like, what's that all about?
Yeah.
You need the rough times.
Participation.
And you learn through adversity. So you need the rough times to appreciate when you do come out on the other side.
I like it. I think we probably combine all three of our viewpoints there and come up with the one that is probably the best theory on life. Huh?
Yes. All right. So, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you very much. I'm going to have all the links on how to get a hold of Curtis, guys, after the show. And hang back afterwards and we'll have a little chat then too.
Thanks, Shanna. This was awesome.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Bye, guys.